Okay, so the biggest thing which I don't like about the car is it feels like you're driving in a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Because of forums and internet. You're driving it thinking, please don't go wrong, please don't go wrong, please don't depreciate, please don't depreciate.
Today's video, and welcome to my friend's garage. I should introduce you. This is Mark.
How you doing?
Mark is the owner of this McLaren that sits behind us, and you may recall a few months ago I said that we would be making a video about this car, and this is that video, albeit slightly different context. So the plan was to make a driving video. It never quite happened for a number of different reasons, mainly due to my laziness, but unfortunately, or fortunately, we're going to discuss the car is actually going to a new owner tomorrow after just over 6 months of ownership.
7 months, yeah, just seven months.
And I thought it would be good to make, this is very last minute, so we only decided to make this video this evening. So we've got some figures that we're going to talk about financially, but there's no script we're working to, so if we sound a little all over the place, just bear with us. Yeah, exactly. Mark's not slept for a week. I'm over-caffeinated at this point, but let's just go with it and see what happens. So we also thought this would be a good video to make from a McLaren owner's perspective and the experience that you've had, and talk about the pros and cons. There's a lot in the media at the moment about McLaren and some of the, I guess, more negative experiences that people are having.
Yeah.
The brand is taking a bit of a hammering on
From
social
forums,
media. Yeah, exactly.
Forums and social media.
So we thought it'd be good in that respect. And then we also thought it would be really good to talk about the finances and the reality of the financial aspect of owning a car like this, and the decision to not only finance the vehicle, but also the type of money you can expect to make, lose, etc. So that's the agenda of the video. Yeah. So should we just get right into the nitty gritty and talk about the money?
For it. So straight off with money then.
Do you think?
Okay. Yeah.
Or are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we talk about the money and then the experience?
Yeah.
So I guess we should start at the very beginning. So I actually came with you to collect this car.
Yes.
Great day.
Yes.
Very exciting day. Very, very exciting day. How much did you pay for the car?
So I paid 135.
Okay.
Okay, so it was advertised at 140. Yeah. And the buyer needed to get over it. He needed to get away from it. And so I put an offer in at 135 and managed to secure the car. Because if you remember, this is the second car that I was looking at. I'd already had a deposit down on another car. You did,
actually. I remember it was a black one, wasn't it?
A black one, yeah. And I pulled the deposit because this one was a much better spec.
Yeah.
So the other one was a lower spec. It was an older car and it had higher mileage for £5,000 less.
Right.
But this one had full PPF on it, which was my deciding factor.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted this one, and I'd already set my heart on this one, but considered it out of my price range. But when I considered the PPF on the black one, it made sense if I could put a low offer in on this one to secure the car, which is what happened. So
makes sense. Great day. We won't say where you purchased the car, obviously, for privacy reasons, but it was a great day. So 135 6 months ago. Do you think that was reasonable?
Yeah, that's where the market was. Yeah. So
so you didn't overpay for the car?
No. If it was advertised at 140, if I'd have paid 140 for it, it would have been overpriced. They were sitting between 130 and 135, depending on the spec. Okay. So this one here, apart from the MSO and carbon packs, this is pretty much got every option ticked.
Fine.
So 135 was where they were roughly sitting. It was an okay price to pay. If I'd have paid 140, I would have been mugged off.
Okay. And were you aware of, like, I guess you did research on other costs you could expect in terms of servicing, tyres, etc. Was there anything that stood out to you, like, oh my god, it's that much?
So the biggest thing is obviously the warranty.
Fine.
So you have an annual warranty on the car. The rumours say that you pay between sort of 4,000 to 7,000 a year. It's not true on the Sports Series. So this is the Sports Series car. On the Super Series, they are around 5,000 a year.
Fine.
But on the Sports Series, which is the 570 and the 540, and I think there's a 650 in the Sports Series. Can't remember. But it's £3,000, and usually you pay it plus VAT.
So you get a manufacturer's warranty if you were to buy the car new
from you for 3 years,
and then what you can do is top it up if you want to.
Yeah, so you extend annually. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have to do that
if you want to sell the car?
Fine. So okay, fine.
Yeah,
but in terms of, there's no beyond that. There's no requirement to.
So extended warranty covers you for pretty much 90% of the faults.
Fine.
Okay, if you have a fault in one of these, let's say it's an engine management problem or something like that, the bills that you'd receive on one of these, it will be extortionate.
Yeah,
You'll be 10, 15, 20,000 pound on if there's an engine fault or something, because the engines have to come out or whatever. You're paying big money.
Yeah. So actually, the 3,000 up front, so to speak,
is well worth it for 90% of cover of the car. Yeah.
So that's an annual charge, I guess. And then obviously you have the tax. Tax isn't
tax is £450,
which is crazy because that's how much my car is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then servicing.
Servicing it alternates between small and big. So it goes 800, 1200, 800, 1200. So again, that's comparable to my M4 that I had.
Yeah.
That was about the same. So
and then, because I know these have specific McLaren Pirelli tyres, do you pay a premium for those tyres?
If you replace them with the same tyres, then I think they're working out around, when I've looked into it, I think it was about £350 a corner.
Okay.
So they are quite pricey.
Yeah.
And they do actually say, or rumours say, that if you replace them with different tyres, they can actually void your warranty. If you put on non-MC wheels.
I've heard the same about Audi's warranty.
Yes.
I don't know how true that is. Could be an urban legend, but
it
is scary. But obviously those costs are not the reason you're selling the car.
No, absolutely.
The running costs have nothing to do with the reason
behind. No, they don't. However, you have to take them into consideration of what it's going to cost me over the next 12 months, which was one of the deciding factors, to be fair.
Yes, which we'll come back to in a second. So 135,000.
Yeah.
You decided to finance.
Yes.
Obviously, I've made finance videos before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make the same mistake again. We are.
That's how I discovered your.
Yeah. So how a lot of people did. It's not all been positive, but okay. So you made the decision to finance the car.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've discussed this off camera a few times.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, it's kind of the same logic I went with in buying my car, which is, why not?
Yeah.
If you can afford the monthly, why not? Would you say that's...
Yeah, so for me, I wouldn't save bulk money and put it into a car that's going to depreciate.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, you get a low interest rate finance agreement. It's going to cost you a few thousand on top, because you've got to remember, people like me and you, we don't keep cars that long. So yes, they cost a little bit more, but if you're keeping a car a year, 2 years, something like that, you're paying like an interest rate, APR interest rate, and you're not paying the full term. So if you pay full term on, say, a £70,000 car, a car's going to cost you like £90,000. It's going to cost you like £20,000 to finance it over the whole term. But if you only keep it a year or 2 years, obviously it's relative to that sort of like period of time. So I personally, especially on a car like this, well, actually on any car, I've financed cars all my life. I don't actually think I've ever paid for a car, apart from the £1,500 Mondeo that I bought when I was
Everyone's had a bigger car. Everyone's had been.
So I've always financed my cars, and it's never bothered me.
So for you, it was like almost like just a financial progression. In terms of, I financed cars in the past. I'm able to now afford this. I'm going to go for it.
Absolutely. And people say on the internet and forums and YouTube is, if you can't afford to buy the car cash, then don't buy it.
Yeah.
And I think that's ridiculous, because I've had this. Okay, it's only been 6 or 7 months, whatever it's been. So, we'll go into the reason why I've sold it, but for this, I've enjoyed it now, and I would never ever be able to save that sort of money. Who's going to save £135,000 and then think, right, I'm going to go and buy a McLaren?
I guess more so, it's less about your ability to save that amount, because realistically, I mean, over the next 5 years, you probably could. It's more a case of would you want to?
Yeah.
And as you said, cars are depreciating assets in most cases.
Yeah.
Unless you're lucky and got a speciality or at list or whatever. But in most cases, they do depreciate, and just throwing that chunk of money.
I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it.
No, me neither. So, in terms of the finance, are you happy to talk about the specifics of your deal? So
I've got no problem with that.
You put a deposit in, obviously.
30,000.
30,000. Was that did you put that deposit in to try and get your monthlies to a certain point?
Yeah. So if you remember, I was supposed to be buying an Audi R8.
Yes.
That was the car I went out to buy. I found one I liked.
That was a great R8.
That was a lovely
lovely car.
Ara blue as well.
Yeah.
So that was supposed to be the car I was going to be buying. When I phoned up my finance guy, he did all the figures for me. It worked out okay. It was more than what I wanted to pay. It was £1,300 a month. Mm-hmm. I was going to stretch to it. I was going to go for it. It had the same deposit value. And he said, I've got a McLaren 540 for sale.
Yeah.
Do you want to look at it? And obviously I thought, no, there's no way a 540 is going to be in my reach. But because the residual values are so much higher on McLarens, because the Audi I think was 56,000 after 3 years,
which is crazy, isn't it?
Which is ridiculous, because is it ever going to be worth that?
No,
well, it will at one point, but not for the next 3 years.
We don't know.
No, well, yeah, absolutely. But the McLaren, that's 90,000 the residual on that after 3 years. So that makes the monthly come crashing down. So we'll talk about the monthly. It's £941.85. That's what I pay a month for that car, which, again, if you think back when I had my M4, is only £200 a month more.
Yeah.
Okay, I put 30,000 in and I only put 10,000 in my BM.
M4, yeah.
But, I mean, 200 quid a month more and you've got one of them sat in your drive,
Exactly. So that was it obviously is an affordable amount for you.
Yeah.
You're comfortable paying that. Again, affordability is not the issue here. No. It's not the reason you're selling the car. So 900 and how much is it?
941.
941. I am listening.
Yeah.
It's very cold in here.
It's freezing. I'm actually shivering.
Yeah, same. So
I need a heater in here.
So 941 a month over the next 3 years.
3 years out.
And then you had a balloon payment at the end
of 90. Yeah.
Of 90. The reality is you probably would have sold it.
It would
before then.
It had to go.
Yeah, because no one really wants to refinance the balloon unless you really do fall in love and want to just see it through.
Yeah. So this is my point with McLarens, okay? So I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit because I know we're still talking about finances, but the older McLaren gets, the more nervous I was thinking I would get.
Yeah.
Because of all the social media and forums, and especially with the reputation of the 12C.
Yeah.
That started off,
which are now creeping below 100.
They're about 80 now. You can get a good one for about 85.
Yeah.
The sort of the newer ones are around the 90 now,
which is crazy because it's still a great car.
A phenomenal car. Phenomenal. 600 quid a month.
So you've already done research. Potential replacement. But okay, so 90,000, you would have sold it probably, year 2?
Next year I reckon I'd have sold it because I would have paid that first chunk of interest, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I'm getting hammered for now. I would have paid a lot of that interest payment off because they always hit you in the first year. Second year, it would have probably been more viable to sell it. Yeah. But with all the other associated costs is the reason why I'm selling it.
So I guess the pressing question is, what has led to you selling it tomorrow? Okay,
so it started off me phoning my dealer, the person I bought the car from, very reputable McLaren dealer, one of the best in the country. Phoned him up and it was just a conversation. It was just me thinking out loud. That's literally what happened.
So you were thinking you might want to sell it.
Yeah, so
you just called in for some advice.
I just thought, for a chat. I hadn't spoken to him for a while. I get on well with him, and I phoned him to say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm thinking of selling my car in 2020. When's the best time to phone you up to book the slot? And what time of year do we go for it? How long do you think it's going to take to sell? What do you think it's going to be worth in a year?" So we discussed.
Because those are all things you have to factor in when you're selling a car like this.
Absolutely.
You can't just bung it on Auto Trader in winter and hope for the best.
And get the tyre kickers coming around.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it out for a spin. It don't work like that.
Exactly. Never come back.
No.
But sorry, carry on. So
that's what happened. So I was chatting to him. We had a good long conversation for about half an hour. He was telling me what he thinks the car's going to be worth. He asked me what I think it's worth now. He thought I was a little bit off on my estimation. And he said,
in terms of higher or lower?
He thought I was higher.
Carry on, I'm just making sure my mic's plugged in. Could you imagine?
Oh my God.
We got this far and the mic's not in.
We're doing quite well.
It is. Sorry.
Yeah, so...
so what, he thought it was worth less or more?
Yeah, so he thought it was worth less than what I was estimating by about 3,000 to 4,000.
Okay.
So should we talk about that? Do you want me to say how much I thought it was worth now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought I would want 128 for it.
So 7 months.
7 months.
7k. Yeah. Essentially decreased.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of... That's literally just me doing research. Piston Heads, Auto Trader. Just looking at the sites, looking at forums, looking at what's happening. So I thought, if I can get 128 for it now... Well, I wasn't thinking like that, but that's what I thought it would be worth now. He said, no, I think you're a little bit overcooking it. Is 125 to accept about 123 is where I think you need to be for it. He obviously has dealer associated costs as well, which is going to come off that figure as well. So I'm thinking, that's quite a loss. Yeah. So we just got chatting, and I was like, so I took that information and I worked out, shall I keep it another year or should I sell it now or whatever? You know, there's all these things going on in my head. So
it kind of got the ball rolling in your head of, hang on a minute.
What do I do?
If I'm potentially going to lose this much now.
Oh, and he also said next year, he said, just look at the 16 plates now. Because this is a 17 plate car.
Yes.
So that's important because it's 2017. It's May, registered in May 2017. So I said to him, what do you reckon it's going to be worth in a year? And he said, well, look at the May 2016 cars, the 16 platers. So I did, and they're about 115. Ouch. Yeah. It's another £10,000. So this is everything that got my mind boggling. And he just said to me, look, I've got someone that has owned a McLaren 570. He has gone to a 720. He didn't like that because he thought the 570 was more comfortable and gave a better driving experience. He then sold the 720 and went to a Porsche 911 Turbo S, I think it was. Excuse me. And he ended up selling that. He didn't like that, which is why he's been on the hunt for about 4 weeks now for a 570. He owned a Storm Grey one before this.
Fine.
So he phoned up the dealer and said, can you see if you can get my old car back? Because that was insanely spec. That was full carbon pack, 200k brand new he paid for that.
Wow.
And he phoned the dealer and said, can you see if you can get my old car back? They tried, and the current owner said, no, I'm not selling. So he was like, well, and he was just like, well, what do I do? You just got to wait for one to come up. And literally, I think it was 3 days later, there's me as a bumbling idiot phoning up saying, I'm thinking of selling it next year. So
almost as if the stars aligned.
It was absolutely, and that's what he said actually. Fate has it. And he said, look, I've got someone interested in one. Do you want me to talk to him? And I was like, well, it's a year early. It's a year too early. I wasn't even thinking about selling it because I wanted to enjoy it for this summer because of the amazing summer we had last year, and I bought it right at the right time. So I decided to say, phone him. No harm in phoning him, just see what he says. And I think he phoned me when I was driving home from work. He phoned me and said, I've sent him the email, I've sent him the pictures of your car. He wants it and he'll pay you 128 for it.
Oh, wow.
Full asking. So I was okay.
It is a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I did think about it overnight. I had a good think about it. I did put pen to paper and think, what am I potentially going to spend in the next 12 months? If I got rid of it now to, compared it. And it just fell into place.
So with the car selling for 128, how much cash do you walk away with?
21 I'll come back out of because I put 30k in.
Fine, so you've lost 9k.
9k, yeah. That includes the dealer fees though as well, obviously.
Fine, so which is not bad.
It would have been a £5,000 loss.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's 9 grand. It's a lot of money, but equally, I don't know, you're still closer to 30 than you are to 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess that's...
Which, if I keep it another year, I'm only walking out at 10.
Yeah, exactly, which is the main thing. So, gaining the 21k is obviously beneficial.
100%, yeah.
It definitely sounds and seems like you're selling it at the right time.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean it's not
the right decision.
Yeah. So... So obviously we've been speaking a lot over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously you're,
devastated.
Yeah. So
the thing is, what annoys me as well, and I suppose this is where the internet will be right and YouTube comment section will be right in saying that if you can't afford a car, don't buy it. I suppose that is their argument side of it, because I'm devastated I'm selling this, because technically it is more of a financial thing than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I want to get the maximum out of the car.
Yeah.
The way I see it is I've enjoyed it, and yes, I'm selling it a year early, but I'm saving myself potentially another 15,000.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Although I don't think that the financial comments are from that perspective, I do agree that in that regard they do make more sense, because if you did just buy the car, then you wouldn't have this
You could
concern.
just relax, couldn't you? To be honest, I would love to be in a position where I could just go into a McLaren dealership and say, yeah, I'll have that one and there's my money.
Yeah.
It'd be great, but you have to be seriously in cash to be able to do that.
Exactly. And I think the fact remains that, why would you want to?
Yeah.
Why would you want to? That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Is putting that much money into something that's going to depreciate, or is just not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's not even a McLaren thing. That's just a general car thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or anything.
Yeah, the dealer who I deal with, he's just bought a 720 on finance. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
So obviously the 720 is...
That's taking a hammering at the moment.
I would guess it's the main driving force, no pun, behind, I guess, the flack that McLaren are getting at the moment.
Yeah, they have had a lot of technical issues with the car as well.
Do you think it's fair to say, though, that you've kind of been just living in blissful ignorance? Because actually you haven't had any issues with this car.
Nothing.
Apart from the legendary window not closing issue.
That's just a McLaren electrical thing, glitch, they call it.
But other than that, it's just reflecting.
Absolutely faultless.
Yeah, reflecting back on the car, obviously from the day you collected it, and then the various trips we've gone on, and all that. It's been great. It doesn't feel like it's 7 months.
I know.
It feels longer in a weird way.
Yeah, I get that.
In terms of what you've done with the car.
Yeah, we have done a lot.
Yeah.
We've tracked it.
Yeah.
To Silverstone.
Yeah, we'll try to include some
footage. I've got loads of footage.
That was a good day. There was another guy there, wasn't there, with another 570. You remember that guy?
Yeah. That's it. Was it a black one?
Yeah, black one.
It was black.
He came from a Huracan.
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so you haven't had any issues with the car. It's going to be a shame to see it go, but from a financial perspective,
it just makes
sense. Knowing that you're going to sell the car in next year, the year after anyway.
Yeah, it had to go.
It just makes sense. And I guess it puts you in quite a unique position in terms of, what you could potentially replace
it with. Because, absolutely. Yeah.
If you haven't figured it out from the B-roll, obviously this isn't the only car you own.
Yeah.
You also have the GT4, which has starred in a few of my videos recently.
Yeah, we have,
and I think the arrival of the GT4 possibly threw a little spanner in the works.
I think so.
Because I think as much as they are very, very different cars, different purposes, and the speed, it feels different.
Yeah. Oh, they're like chalk and cheese.
The GT4 obviously just came in and just threw this big red mess into the whole thing. Because
and I must actually add, if it hadn't have been for this buyer, this wouldn't be getting sold.
Exactly.
It was a timing thing.
Exactly.
It was a timing thing, because it would be going for sale in February, March next year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be advertising it. It's just that there was a buyer there who will pay top dollar for it. I can walk away with maximum return.
Exactly.
So that's the only reason why it's going tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're wrapping up the finance. Bit of an odd cut there, but I have to time my camera right, otherwise it just stops. I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
You think you get a real good bit of footage at the end, and then you realise your camera's just gay. I don't know what it is. I think it's the memory card.
Yeah.
Will only allow me to film in 29-minute intervals.
Oh.
Anywho.
Actually, one thing I need to talk about is the cost of ownership for the next year.
Yes. So before we move on from the finance,
it's the last of it.
Yeah, let's wrap that up. Because that's a big factor, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because you've got the depreciation you've got to worry about. You've also got the monthly payments. Yeah. It's 11,000 that I'll be paying in the next 12 months.
I'll leave it in. organic is organic.
Where was I? So you got that. So you got the depreciation, you got the monthly payments to consider. Yeah. So the other things are tax, obviously.
Yeah.
450. My insurance on the car is 800 a year.
Which is not bad.
Not bad. So it should be 16, but because I got a multi-car policy,
nice.
I got a forecaster, and they do it half price, which is great. Which means when I get rid of that tomorrow, the other cars are probably going to go up.
Oh yeah.
Because it's based on.
You're going to have to buy a replacement now.
I'm going to have to, yeah. GT3 RS. So that's the insurance, the tax. I'm going to need another set of tyres. These are half one probably now. Another year on them. I'll probably do another 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it. We'll probably do a couple more track days on it. It's going to need new tyres.
Yeah.
So, 350 a corner. That works out quite a bit.
Yeah. Can't do the math off the top of my head. But it's a lot.
I tried then. And the biggest thing, it needs warranty next year. So 2020 May, it needs warranty. So because I'm thinking of selling it in May next year, or just before, I have to put warranty on it. That will have to go on. That's 3,000. I think it's 3,600 it works out.
So you are potentially saving more than just that 21,000 when you factor in those things. And obviously, we've already discussed you can afford the monthlies. You can afford you can afford all of that, but it's more a case of when you actually lay it out on paper and you look at, okay, well, if I did sell now, I'd be saving all that money. It's kind of hard to. I'm
not stupid at the end of the day. It's that money is going to come back to me.
Exactly.
I can either put that into another car, into another finance agreement, so maybe I am stupid, or the sensible thing is what I think I'm going to do is put it straight into the mortgage.
Yeah.
So we've got a mortgage on our house, and that's probably what I'm going to probably do with the money back. Yeah.
Fine.
I probably won't.
There'll probably be another car soon, a new video. But okay, so we've discussed the finance.
Yeah.
I think we've covered everything we wanted to from a financial perspective.
Yeah, I think it gives everybody an idea of.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because not only is it about financing a McLaren, it's more just supercars in general.
Absolutely,
it gives, I think, an insight into the reality that sits behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what surprised me when I first originally got the quote on it was how cheap the monthly payments are because the residuals are so high.
Yeah, I mean,
the Audi R8. The Audi R8 was where I thought they would be, 1,300 quid. The McLaren, so in my head I'm thinking, well, McLaren's going to be £1,700 to £1,800. When I've had quotes on Lamborghinis and Ferraris before, they've all been near the £2,000.
Yeah.
But when you actually really get a proper quote, because of the residuals are so high on them, a GT3, you think I got that GT3 quote, that was only £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
That was 150,000.
And that wasn't as big of a deposit, was it?
No, it was 20.
Yeah.
It was a 20k deposit.
Well, you got that 20k now.
Yeah, don't buy that.
No.
Still for sale.
Yeah, is it?
It is. Yeah.
I think I do think you've made a good decision here.
Yeah,
when you look at it from that perspective, it's kind of hard to.
It's
not
proper gut wrench, and
Yeah.
I'm sat here looking at it now, and I'm just gutted. I
would anticipate that tomorrow's going to be a bit of a challenge.
It's going to be a horrible day tomorrow.
It will be a sad day.
It's going to be horrible. I'm not going to. Yeah, because it's getting collected at 2:00, and a lorry's coming to take it. Transport companies coming to take it, and it's going to be tough. So the only time I've really felt like this was for my Golf R32 that I had, the Mark V Golf.
Yeah.
And the day the guy come to collect that, it was just horrible. I hated it, and watching it drive off. And this is going to be exactly the same.
Oh, yeah. Although you could buy one of them again.
The Golf R32, yeah.
That'd be great. We were talking about those on the weekend actually, because there were a few at that event.
Yes, yeah.
They sound so cool.
They're awesome. They're one that up to this point, it's probably been the best car I've ever driven.
Yeah.
And I would say if I didn't have that, I think that would still trump the Porsche GT4.
Oh, really?
In driving experience
was yours
and
a manual?
fun. No, it was the SG.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they were. Those?
Hang on. No, it was manual. Yeah, I had a GTI before that, which was DSG.
Oh, okay,
no, my R32 was manual. Yeah, it was.
Do you know what? It's a bit of a caveat. I feel a bit bad for the GTI.
Yeah.
If you think about it, for the last 20 years, the GTI has kind of ruled the hot hatch, and then all of a sudden,
Top dolly.
Golf R, RS3, all them come along, S3s, etc.
And it has put it down the pecking order, hasn't it?
Yeah, bless the GTI. Anywho, so let's talk about the ownership experience then.
Yeah, incredible.
So, and I think this is important to talk about because of what we've kind of said it already a few times. Obviously, McLaren are having a tough time. The 720's not gone down as well as everyone expected it to.
Mm-hmm.
Great cars.
Yeah.
Can't hear them.
No.
They don't really have a sound, do they?
They don't. None of them do. In my opinion, I think it's one of their flaws.
That was one of your.
It's like a wet fart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think inside the cabin, the soundproofing is so good that it doesn't really. McLaren have a very distinctive sound when you're sat inside the driver's seat. It has this sort of whirling sound. And if you listen to a 650, 675, the Senna in Shami's latest video when he starts up and drives it, they have this sort of specific sound and they all sound the same.
Yeah.
But that's as loud as it gets inside the cabin.
Do you think it's because they're from maybe, I don't know, I don't know what it would be.
I have no idea why it makes
old...
that sound. It's a strange sound. It's very distinctive McLaren. If I had my eyes shut and you started one, I would know instantly it was a McLaren. They have a very, very distinctive sound. Outside the car, I've been recorded while driving past, and that person showed me their recording of me just driving past, and I was like, wow, that sounded really good.
It does have a good sound out. When you're on it, so when we were at Silverstone, for example, it did sound great.
Yeah.
So they can sound good. I guess it's hard. It's always hard to judge the sound of a car like these, because at the lower end,
absolutely. And even if you just start them up on tick over, I don't think they sound that good. It's when they get up.
And I would imagine, obviously, the Huracan R8s, etc. To a degree, there is some artificiality. Now that is a word.
Artificial.
I'm throwing it out in
I'm not going to
the sound. Possibly, or maybe it's just a V10. Who knows? But the 720 is not doing so great. Obviously, the 720 Spider is now incoming.
Yeah.
Not sure that was the best move.
I don't like it.
Me neither. It literally just looks like a 720 with a roof car.
Yeah.
Which I know in essence it is.
Yeah.
But it does look like someone's just cut a roof off of a 720. I think the 720 is a really, really nice looking car.
I love it.
I've thought that from the very beginning, because I know when they first announced it, it was very Marmite.
Yeah.
People either loved the headlights or they hated them. I think it's a great looking car.
Yes, yeah.
I do definitely believe that the 720 is one of those cars that unless you see it in person, pictures do not do it justice.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people said that, but it's true.
But you say that, I think that with all of them. I think that with this, when you take a photograph of this and look at, even if you stood in front of it and look at the camera screen, it doesn't look the same.
No.
And I don't think these look that great.
Oh, I don't know, I got some good pictures of it.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Depending on the photograph, from an iPhone maybe. Yeah. But I don't think the photos do these
agree.
cars just the way they,
So the 720s they're just the 720. Let's just leave it there. Now obviously the Senna's arrived, and there's a few different things happening with the Senna, which is unfortunate. I think the Senna is a really, really cool car. It's again one of those.
I'm really on the fence.
I was very on the fence until Shmi revealed his Senna, because I think his has to be the best spec one so far. Because with that blue carbon and stuff, it just looks so cool. But obviously they've been bursting into flames. I say they. I think it's one.
It's only one that's gone up. One's gone up. A couple have crashed, 2 or 3 have crashed now.
Which is not McLaren's fault.
No, because that is people. I think people have been driving like idiots.
Exactly, because the Senna is very different from your traditional supercar in that it's obviously very aerodynamically driven. Yeah. So it's not as much as I know anyway, and I'm not an expert on them, but it doesn't have all of the trickery that say this does. Because it's relying on the aero instead. So I would imagine the driving experience is very different, and probably requires a slightly more skilled driver. Yes, to be on it.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, they say that with the 720 as well, don't they? They say it's just so supreme.
And we say all of this, I guess, to position the kind of bashing that McLaren are taking on social media, which, in my view, seems unfair.
I think it is so unjustified, because the exact same conversation I'm having with my dealer. He is so passionate. He used to work for McLaren, very passionate for the brand, and he's got to the point now where he can't actually go onto social media because it annoys him so much what people are talking about the cars, because it's just simply not true. People say, the first comments, obviously I've just joined the Porsche forums, and there was a massive debate about a McLaren 570 actually, funny enough, and everyone was bashing the reliability, and it was just, I'm like, where are you getting your information from? It is so false. These cars are bulletproof. They have electrical glitches, but like, as the dealer guy, he says about the 720, And he said there was one guy on he's a YouTuber, so I'm not going to mention any names, but he is really bashing the 720 at the moment. Currently, he's bashing the 720. The dealer did a bit of research into his car and the problem and the issues, and it turned out it was the rear spoiler, the active aero. There's a sequence you have to do when you get into the car. You can't get straight in and start it. You have to turn the electrics on and blah blah blah. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I'm not very technical when it comes to that. There's a sequence you have to do, and it resets the aero or something. And apparently this guy was just getting straight in and starting it. So the car's going, oh, hang on a second, and it was then almost tripping out the aero. Yeah. So it was coming up with a light on the dashboard saying it wasn't in position or something. It was something like that. I can't remember the exact specifics. But this guy's bashing it. Always got a light on. But you take it to McLaren, they reset it and they give it back.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it is
that
really
is something
unfair.
else, I guess, that people have questioned as well online is the service that you receive from McLaren.
Okay, so I can't vouch for that because I've never used them.
No.
Because obviously I've kept the car long enough.
And I do think it comes down, it's just a mixed thing.
Yeah.
Like, the irony is my videos and how I have in the past bashed my own car doesn't necessarily mean that Audi as a brand are terrible.
Yeah, it's just your experience.
Exactly. And my experience is driven by, you know, my car, of course, and then the people I meet at the dealer, etc. So all of these factors are not necessarily Audi's fault. And it's the same with McLaren, but I don't think that it's justified. I think people who purchased McLaren cars to flip them or to try and treat them as a business. Yeah. In terms of I'll buy it now, I'll sell it for a premium or break even. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like that's just you can't judge a brand because you lost a bit of money on a bad deal. Like it's just unfortunate these things happen. So I do think they're getting a bit of a hard run. Yeah. But unfortunately, I do think it's having an impact on the value of McLaren's because all of their cars seem to be coming down.
They are depreciating. Some of them obviously at a lot higher rate. I think the 720 is falling quite hard. I think that's taken quite a hit. These cars aren't. No. So although I've said how much it's depreciated even since I've owned it, but if you look at a Lamborghini Huracan, if you look at a Ferrari 458s are a little bit more stable, but Huracans, they are really coming down now. Yeah. You can get them for 140 now. You know, they've come down. They're coming down at the same rate as these. And
Huracans, just to add some context, were more.
They were more. Absolutely they were. Yeah.
And then obviously when you spec them out,
these are 152. Yeah. So from out the box, these are 152, and then you spec them
which is more comparable to an R8. Although I don't think anyone's ever paid 152 for an R8, or I hope not, because I've seen a few when they're like new plates.
Can you imagine?
Last year,
scary.
There were a few on there for like 140, and I was like, it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening. What are you trying to do? But anyway, so it is having an impact to a degree. Yeah. On the value of McLaren's, which is a shame. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to obviously say, but I guess what's important for McLaren next is to just focus more on the quality of the service they offer. Yeah. Because I think if the cars have faults, all cars have faults from time to time, but I think if they're offering a good level of service, then that will help.
This is what I think they fall down with from just, again, reading people, quite reliable people on forums as well, the owners of them. Excuse me. So actually talking to owners of these cars, and obviously I'm on a forum that are very pro McLaren. They like McLarens, and they do have some horror stories in there. And even some of the guys that are proper like McLaren fanboys do have problems with them, but they're willing to accept them. They might lose their car for 6 weeks because they send it in for a part, and that part's got to be ordered in, and it hasn't come through. Then the dealership hasn't phoned them, and blah blah blah. It just goes on and on. So
it's all very circumstantial, isn't it? It just happens sometimes. Yeah.
But look at my Audi. You know, I'm waiting for a master cylinder for the brakes, and they said they were going to phone me before Christmas. They haven't phoned me. We're now in January.
Well, we know how I feel about Audi, so we won't get into that.
But I think it's just, and unfortunately, everyone jumps on the bandwagon. And I think, and as my dealer, so don't shoot me down for this, but my dealer said, unfortunately, the people that shoot these cars down are people that could never afford them. I know that sounds really bad, but they're getting majorly bashed by people that don't own them, have never owned them, or can't own them.
Yeah.
And they're the people that are bashing them the most.
I think sometimes it takes a few who can, so a few who may have owned them or can afford them, etc. To kind of get that ball rolling. And then obviously social media has changed so much over the past few years, particularly around car YouTubers. I mean, it was. I remember subscribing to Shmi. I think when he had his V8 Vantage, his first,
right? Wow,
you know, and then also seeing through glass as well. Very early on, and it was
he had a 540, didn't he?
He did for a while, and it was very, very different. 2-3 years ago, because everyone, maybe Shmi not so much, because he's always had quite a stable fan base, but I'm sure there was a time where he was really just kind of making the videos for a few thousand people. Now you have the YouTube subscribers, you have that comment section, the dreaded comment section, but now you obviously I love it. But now obviously you have that crossover into other platforms like Instagram, Twitter, etc. And I think now, you know, that the audiences almost go along for the ride. So if, you know, if someone says this isn't very good, you've suddenly got, you know, 100,000 people that are automatically going to take you for your word and say, oh yes, it's not very good. And then before you know it, it becomes this thing.
People get influenced, don't they?
Exactly.
That's where they get a lot of their information from.
But I guess we've gone on a little off topic, but kind of. But to getting back to your ownership experience has been wholly positive.
Mostly. There was a couple of things, but they get totally outweighed. And it wouldn't be enough to sell.
Outweighed by, obviously, the driving experience.
Absolutely. So if I was to list, you know, the best bits about this car is, aside from I love the way it looks and blah, 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 because that's obviously subjective to me. My biggest thing is, I think, is the driving experience and how it makes you feel when you're actually in the driver's seat. Now, I think that is a lot of mixture of things. It is the performance of the car. It is unreal how fast that car is. It is just, I've never, ever owned anything like it. It's insane. It is so fast. Obviously, I know we're on public roads, so we don't really get to use it, but it's just the whole experience of that acceleration, the noise. You know, I've said it's not that great, but it is better than a family car, isn't it? Of course, At the end of the day, it's still a McLaren. It's the whole feel of the car, the way it drives, the way it handles. You can get onto twisty back roads, country roads, and you can't stop smiling. It literally is one of them cars you can't stop smiling. And I know the other thing is a little bit vain, but it's how other people react to the car. The attention it grabs is unbelievable.
I mean, it is vain, but I don't think it's a negative thing, because it's why we all do it.
Like, would you own one of these?
Obviously, making videos, having an audience, it's all cool, but ultimately we want to pull into the car park at a car meet and everyone be like, oh, that's so cool.
You literally can't go anywhere with this without someone taking a photo. Do you remember the little car show we went to? That kid, when we drove in?
Yeah, exactly.
His reaction. It's just reactions like that.
And generally speaking, the reaction and the people that then approach you has been such a positive aspect to owning the car, if you hate, as odd as it sounds.
If you hate negative reactions from people, like I hear, I've never owned one, so a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, I hear they get probably 1 in 3 negative reactions. And that's from owners of them.
There's a lot of assumption, isn't there? Like, people will be like, blah, blah.
It's
a bit like Audi drivers is a thing.
BMW with indicators and stuff. So I think Ferrari and Lamborghini get that same sort of reputation, and they do get gestures and stuff. I think it happens quite a lot. My friend has a Ferrari, and he tells me he actually got his car spat on at traffic lights. So someone's walked off a pub. They were in a pub, and he was sat at a set of traffic lights there, and a guy's walked over and spat on his bonnet.
I'm not sure how I'd react in that situation.
What can you do?
It probably wouldn't be that great, I'll be honest.
I don't know what you'd do.
Getting straight out my car.
Difficult, isn't it?
So if anyone sees me at traffic lights, do not spit on my car. But I do think that is such it has been a big part of the last 7 months, isn't it? Is going to these different coffees, meeting up for the coffees, etc. with our friends, and just the attention. And then my car's always sat there like,
but it still looks good. But that is literally 100% positive attitude.
And because everyone's very chatty. You know, I do think it helps that you are You know, sometimes I'm a little awkward in situations where people approach me, but you're generally quite open to it. So like children sitting on it. I quite enjoy it,
to be honest.
Occasionally leaning in it.
Yeah, did that girl sat on the front wheel arch. Yeah, that was fun.
Moment. But
petrol station garages.
Yeah.
People just come up to you. Can I take the photo? Yeah, crack on. You know, it's just.
It is cool.
Did I say your photo? I meant the car.
Yeah,
not me.
They know what you mean. But yeah, it is cool.
But yeah, it's.
So even though you don't own a car for that reason,
I think it's a whole experience,
exactly.
And it makes you smile. And it's one of them cars that when we've been out on a drive and we've parted, you've gone home, I've come home, and I've reversed it back into the garage. And I put it into this spot here, and I have the front door still open, and I'm like, I want to go back out. Yeah. I'm not ready to come home, and it's one of them cars where I'm not putting the Porsche down, but the Porsche doesn't make me feel like that. When I come home, I put it away, I get out of it, I lock it and walk in the house. And I'm not saying the Porsche is crap, because it's certainly not. We had a great time on the weekend, didn't we? It was awesome. Yeah. Great car. But
it's obviously just a different kind of level of car.
Totally different, yeah. That is on another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be sad to see it go. Definitely, and it is a shame that we never got around to making that driving video.
It's just happened too quick.
I can vouch for the driving experience though, although I only drove it around Silverstone.
Yeah, a couple of laps you did.
A few laps, very nervous.
Yeah,
jumping into it for the first time. Very nervous. We didn't film it.
No.
Which
probably good.
Looking back, it probably is, but at the same time, might have been a good.
You drove the Porsche and. Getting into that, you were absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think
it was a nerves thing.
Yeah, definitely, but
because it wasn't insured, if you remember, we didn't insure it on the track.
Yeah,
that was very dangerous.
It's a different type of speed.
Yeah,
the way it gains speed is very, very different. It's certainly if you're not used to that.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm not coming from a supercar, so I'm not used to that. And that was one thing that stood out to me immediately. Was 10% of this accelerator is very different from 10% of mine.
Yes.
For example.
Yeah.
But no, even those few laps, it's such a great feeling car.
It is incredible, yeah.
It is going to be a shame to see it go, but I think everyone will hopefully agree that you've made the right choice.
I think so.
It frees you up now to enjoy the GT4 more. Focus on that more, and we've had some fun in that already.
Yeah, absolutely. We've only had it, I've had it 3-4 weeks?
Yeah.
About 4 weeks now.
And that definitely softens the blow.
It does, yeah. Because at least I've still got that. To be honest, if I didn't have that, you're probably right. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't have even phoned the dealer up. So.
And I guess it does mean that you can, if you want to, think about replacements as well.
I've got a spare slot in the garage, so if I do...
Do you have? Is there anything I mean, you're a bit like me. You're always on Auto Trader looking at cars.
Even the day I bought that, I'm still looking at Auto Trader.
Is there anything in your head that you think maybe?
Now, so I'm going to go against the bit I've just said about Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So I've been looking at the 458.
Okay.
I've been looking at the Huracan.
I'd go Huracan.
Yeah.
I just don't like those 3 exhausts.
Yeah, yes, I remember you saying,
I really don't like it.
And I have been looking at R8s.
I know that doesn't matter because it's the driving experience.
Of course,
like
the 3 exhausts at the back,
I think that's why the Speciale is so special.
It is beautiful.
Nice play on words there. It's because it has the 2 exhausts, and obviously they continue that into the 488.
Speciale is amazing.
I think the Huracan, you know what annoys me the most about the Huracan is I actually think, and this may sound really strange, but I do think it's a bit of an underrated car.
Yeah.
As odd as it sounds, because obviously they're really popular, loads of, they've sold well.
Yeah, they have sold well. And they're coming down in value. You can get them for good money now.
But I do think they look great, they sound great. Yeah. The interior is a bit much, but you can live with that.
Do you remember that red one we saw? Were you there, the dealer?
Oh no, that was when you went...
To Banbury?
Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
Right,
that was after the breakfast, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. They're
obviously
the red
R8s.
R8 is one, yeah.
I think the R8 is probably a longer term car because you'd have to accept the hit.
Okay, so I didn't touch on what I didn't like with this car.
Oh yeah,
and there isn't much. But why I've brought that up is obviously because of the R8. The R8 is so drivable. It's so usable. You can just drive and you don't have to worry about the ride height or anything like that. It's because it sits quite high, and the clearance is amazing. This is an absolute nightmare. It is horrible.
Speed humps, potholes. And I guess that's, if you were to encapsulate that into a single issue, it'd probably be like the accessibility of the car.
Yeah.
Because you can't just take this out and go for a blast around.
Yeah. I can't drive this to my parents' house. because there's a bridge, and the bridge sort of does this, and it's all, when you get over it, all the concrete, or the tarmac, sorry, not concrete, the tarmac is all broken away, and it's all bumpy. And even with the vehicle lift on it, it takes up about 6 centimetres. It's enough to get you over, but you're over at 2-3 mile an hour, and it is horrendous.
You go to your parents the next day.
It's horrible, and literally you've got all the cars behind you going, what is he doing? You know, and it is horrible, because I had a Volvo Estate try to overtake me on that bridge, and it was just because I couldn't get over it. So I now don't take that to my parents' house, and that's really frustrating. And like, when we want to do like maybe a video, or if we want to go for a hack, I've got to think, well, I can't go down there because there might be potholes.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really bad.
Which is frustrating considering where we are. Obviously, we're not going to say where we are, but in the this area, there's so many great roads, but they are a little bit bumpy. So
absolutely. You just can't take them down there. So I'm thinking, we got to go like A roads and stuff like that, because you can't take them into the back roads where they excel the most. If it was smooth tarmac everywhere, you wouldn't get out of it, you'd sleep in it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
so do you think, I mean, should we wrap it up, just summarise what we've kind of discussed? So the summary, I guess, is we didn't make the driving video.
No,
if you've made it this far, you've probably realised that now. We spoke about the financial element, and I think that will be useful to some people as well. And then obviously your ownership experience, some of the negatives, mostly the positives.
Mostly positive,
And I think this has been a positive experience.
I've loved every minute. It's been a great ownership, and I am generally gutted to be seeing it go. But I have to do it. But, you know, as like my dealer said, you know, if you get like a year down the road and you're absolutely still gutted, and you buy another one.
Exactly. And you know, who knows, by that time, 720 could be an option.
Absolutely, they're coming down, aren't they? Exactly. 170, 180s now.
Yeah.
So, and they hold £120,000 balloon payment. That's what they are, 120 at the moment. So you can get one. The dealer's just bought one. He's put quite a hefty deposit in, but it's £500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you say hefty,
60.
Okay.
So he's put
a lot of money.
Quite a lot of money, but 60k in, and he's paying £500 a month, and I just think that's amazing.
That is amazing. That is amazing. If you've got the 60k, that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does make you wonder, though, doesn't it? Because when you think about it, 60k in, 500 a month.
Yeah.
It's obviously a lot of money up front.
It is.
But I know of YouTubers who are paying like multiples of thousands.
3 times. Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 a month for cars, and you think,
well,
and why?
There's a famous SV, isn't there, on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
We won't go. We're not going to say names, but
everyone will know who it is. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
He pays over £2,000 a month.
I mean, he said it himself.
He does.
In that interview. He did. And obviously, we don't know his financial situation, and
he's doing all right for himself.
Exactly, and he may have chosen to put a smaller deposit in it, or who knows. Obviously, the value of the car is so much higher as well.
Of course,
what is an SV?
350 paid,
Yeah, so you're always going to be paying a lot a month for a car like that, but it is extreme, isn't it?
I see. I couldn't swallow that.
Me neither.
Not on my finances. I seriously couldn't swallow. That's 135 to 150. I'd probably go to about 150. I think I'm done at 150 at the moment.
I would only see it from a monthly.
Okay. Yeah.
From a monthly view. So I think my in life, my maximum, I think my hard limit has always been probably 1,500, regardless of my financial situation. So even if I, got $1 million in the bank, obviously there's other things I'm going to do with that.
Yeah,
I'd probably still finance a car.
Yeah,
but I would not spend more than 1,500 a month.
Yeah,
because for some I just can't.
Yeah, are you going to edit it? Or
I will go through it.
You go through it?
I can't be honest, with the editing,
ages.
Quite lazy with the editing.
Yeah, me too.
Especially with my talking bits.
If you saw my last video, that is so lazy.
Mean, when I record, so I really enjoy editing the B-roll and stuff like driving.
Me too, yeah.
When it comes to the speaking,
just slap it in.
Make sure I haven't said anything hugely inappropriate.
Yeah.
I try to swear less.
Yeah, we haven't sworn at all.
No. I usually just go through, I'll try to remember points where I know I didn't make any sense or etc., and then edit them out, but mostly I just go with it.
Yeah.
Just roll with it, and that's why sometimes I
think this has gone quite well though.
Yeah, I think sometimes I come across a bit dumb, but it is what it is. I haven't got the time to be sitting there all week doing it.
Yeah.
But do you think we should wrap up here, or should we do a little impromptu kind of spec review of the car. So I mean, I guess there's...
I can show spec, but I must be honest with you, I've kind of forgotten.
It's got orange calipers.
It's got orange, yeah. So a lot of the stuff as you see it comes standard. So exterior wise,
So when you say standard, you can choose the colour of the calipers, can't you? You don't have to pay extra for them.
Yeah, I think you can choose.
I'm sure. I
think there is something about orange calipers means it's carbon ceramics. I have a feeling.
Maybe.
The 570 comes with carbon ceramics as standard. So the 540 comes with steels.
Yeah.
I think exterior wise, I don't actually think this has got anything. A storm grey, obviously. It's got the I can't pronounce. I've never been able to pronounce it. Paldoni mean or I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it's like the standard side skirts and stuff like that, where you can spec them in carbon. The blade you can get in carbon and stuff like that. You can get them. It's really the interior is where it makes up the spec. So on this car, you've got the full Alcantara pack. You've got the extended carbon pack, which is the steering wheel, center console, and where your drive selects are. I think that's it. And you've got the extended paddles for the race paddles. This has got the Lux pack and the security pack, so it really is really high spec. So you've got the full upgrade speaker systems, you've got the volumetric alarm systems, you've got the tracker system, it's all in there. You've got the upgraded interior pack with the seats and stuff like that. That's all Alcantara headlining.
So a very quick question then.
Yeah.
What do you think of the 600 LT? How much are they?
Okay, so
200?
Yeah, they're about 200, and then obviously spec'd up. I think they go to about 220, 210.
I've seen a few. Obviously, we
saw one at the show, didn't we? At the weekend,
and we also saw.
We saw the MSO one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Obviously, I follow a few people on Instagram that have one. I think they're great looking cars.
They are.
Seats are just like madness.
You can get the sport seats. I think you can get the comfort seats.
I just don't think they're going to hold their value for very long.
I don't think I'd buy one. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to stay close to 200 for very long.
No.
I don't think it's a 675 LT.
No.
It's not.
They are. I think they are going to come down.
Fantastic cars. They sound great. Them two exhausts are cool with the flames and stuff.
They look brilliant. They look
very cool, but
I think if you get the colour right, that one we saw was in my opinion, was quite a low spec one. It wasn't a very well spec one. I think if that was sat next to mine now and someone said, "There's the keys, take one," I would think I would drive away in mine, because I just preferred. I know obviously that's a stupid thing to say because of the values, but forget all money, forget performance, forget all that. On looks alone, I think I'd take that over the one we saw. I think if you spec
that one wasn't very.
I didn't like
great.
it. I didn't.
That
think
wasn't
it was
great though, to be fair. Scrimped on a few things.
The wheels and just I didn't like it.
But great cars though.
Yeah.
I guess those types of cars, the LT series is not so much. You're not going to see 50 of them on the road.
Yeah.
They are more of a rarity, and maybe that's where they'll hold their value.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be years from now. I don't think it will be as revered as the 675 LT is.
Yeah.
I also think the 675 LT looks better.
Yeah.
Especially if you get one with a roof scoop.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god, yeah. Even that one we saw at the dealer, wasn't it? It was incredible.
So yes, I'm going to wrap the video up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for discussing all that and being so transparent. This was your one of your first times speaking on camera.
I don't like cameras.
But I think you did great though. You did great. I told you should do it more. You did great. So yeah, please do let us know what you think of this video in the comment section below. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask me or Mark, let me know. If there's anything you'd like to know specifically about the car or anything with relation to the finance, we're happy to answer to a degree. Or if you just want to comment on my jumper, this is a great jumper, Marvin. Whatever it is, just let us know, and please don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. I always forget that bit apparently at the end.
Need people to subscribe.
Until my next video, this has been great. Peace.